Hello everyone, I'm Will from Hollywood Multipass, and welcome to my review of The Gentleman, directed by Guy Ritchie. Starring Matthew McConaughey, Charlie Hunnam, Michelle Dockery, Colin Farrell, Hugh Grant, and Henry Golding. When criminal entrepreneur Mickey Pearson, played by Matthew McConaughey, plans to get out of the criminal game, he decides to sell his UK cannabis empire to have a nice cushion for an early retirement. But when certain rivals catch wind of his plan, they test the King's Medal and try everything in the book to try to get that empire for themselves. This is Guy Ritchie going back to his British gangster roots, and it's wonderful to see. Much like his earlier films Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch. Those are great films. If you haven't seen those movies, I highly recommend them. Going into this movie, I didn't really know what to expect. The movie trailers didn't really give away much, which is great because most trailers give you the plot, the twists, the turns, all the explosions, any surprises. They just give it to you all right up Front Street, and I'm so glad they didn't do that for this movie. But the number one thing that stood out to me the most was the performances. Everyone is great in this. From Matthew McConaughey, who's very experienced at movies, or the relative newcomer in Henry Golding. Everyone is brilliant. Which brings me to my favorite performance in Hugh Grant. I know, crazy, right? He usually plays like the proper English gentleman and everything, mostly romantic comedies. But in this, he's not that. In this, he plays this greedy and slimy private investigator, and he absolutely steals the show. Every scene he's in, he absolutely captures your attention. And which is good because he plays the narrator for most of the movie. And to see him play a different role than what he's usually given was absolutely sensational. I thoroughly enjoyed his performance throughout the film. But that doesn't mean everyone else's performance falls by the wayside. Matthew McConaughey plays his cool, calm, and collected role as King of the Jungle very well, and when he has to show his teeth and show his capacity to being a cutthroat gangster, he absolutely nails it. Mickey Pearson's wife, played by Michelle Dockery, who you might recognize from Downton Abbey, is absolutely excellent in this movie. She isn't just some damsel in distress to be saved, she can completely handle her own situations. She runs some of Mickey's side businesses as well. She's also great and wise support to Mickey's empire. Charlie Hunnam, that handsome devil. He plays Mickey's right-hand man in this, and this is probably Charlie Hunnam's best performance I've seen from him. He's absolutely great in this movie. Henry Golding plays a rival gangster looking to get his hands on Mickey's empire. As a wrench of the machine and a constant threat throughout the whole movie, Henry Golding plays his role very well. Colin Farrell is absolutely outstanding in this movie and surprisingly hilarious. His character gets pulled into the situations that occur, and I couldn't get enough of him in the movie. The Gentleman also has great writing and brilliant dialogue written by Guy Ritchie. Whether it's a face-to-face confrontation or a delivery of a visual or spoken gag or joke, this is Guy Ritchie at his very best, very reminiscent of his earlier films. This is a one-of-a-kind movie these days. It's not a sequel, it's not a prequel, it's not a remake, it's not a big-budget superhero movie. It completely stands on its own. The Gentleman is a new and original story, something that doesn't get a lot of attention in Hollywood these days, which is a shame. I saw this film with my brother on opening weekend, and apparently we were part of the very few that did. It made only roughly $10 million during its opening weekend, coming in at 4th behind Bad Boys for Life at number 1, 1917 at number 2, and Doolittle at number 3, which is not good. Maybe people thought this was a Kingsman movie. The designs of the posters look very similar, with the white background and the gold lettering. Perhaps that hurt the film. I don't know for sure, but it was very disappointing that this movie didn't make as much money as it should have. But Fight Club didn't make a lot of money in theaters either, and it found new life as a cult classic when it came out on DVD. And I'm really hoping the same happens to this movie. The Gentleman is a fun and enjoyable ride with a great cast of actors with brilliant performances. It's got a great blend of comedy and drama. Not too many jokes to be a full-on laugh fest, and not too dark or gritty to be a full-on crime film. It's perfectly mixed to feel just right. Guy Ritchie wrote and directed a brilliant film to put up with the likes of Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch. I wouldn't necessarily say it surpasses those movies, but definitely deserves a place among them. This movie is a definite buy for me. I can't wait to buy it and watch it over and over again for those performances. It deserves a lot more love than it got in theaters, so go out and buy a copy or at least check it out. It's available now on VOD, so check iTunes or Vudu or your video game consoles and look for a copy to check for yourselves. It's definitely worth a watch. And that's my review for The Gentleman. Have you seen the movie? What are your thoughts? Leave a comment below, like the video, and subscribe for more content coming soon. And I'll talk to you guys later.